Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading will be the mid-monthly reading for all of the signs for mid-month February. So this covers sort of middle of the month of February through the end of the month, focusing on two specific areas, love and relationships and career and finances. For the love and relationships portion of the reading, I'll be using the Wheel of the Year Tarot and the Romance Angels Oracle cards. And for the career and finance, I'll be using the Good Tarot by Colette, Baron-Reid and the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Okay, obviously, as I always say, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way for you to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading with me. If you're interested, you can take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com, or you could email me at changingphases@gmail.com. Okay, and if you go to my site, you'll find all the pricing as well as the types of videos, the video readings that I offer. Another thing I would suggest is to, besides watching your sun sign reading, also take a look at your moon sign and your rising sign, right? Sometimes the messages, for the one might not resonate with you for that particular period, but the others might. So I do encourage you to take a look at those as well. All right, I think that's it as far as messages go. So I will say goodbye for now, and we'll see each of you in 1 second for the shuffle. Bye for now. Hi Aquarius, hope you're doing well and hope that you're having a wonderful month of February so far. So I'm here to get into your mid-monthly reading, focusing on career and finance and love and relationships. As you can see, I've already laid out both spreads here, really just to try to save time. So I've been shuffling off camera and already laying out the spreads in advance. So we'll begin with the love and relationships portion of the reading. Let me lower my camera here. Which will be over on this side. And then on the other side here, closer to me, we have the career and finance. So I would say for the love and relationships portion of the reading, we have a lot of very powerful cards. Out of 4 cards, 3 of them are major arcana. So the overall energy for the 2 weeks, you have Judgment, major arcana number 20. Okay, sorry for the glare. Oops. In the past position, you have, so this could be, what you're leaving behind from the first couple of weeks of the month, or even going back to, January. You have the 9 of Wands. In the present position, please don't freak out. I'll get to this card. You have the Tower. This is number 16 of the major arcana. And in the future position, you have the 0 card of the major arcana, the Fool. Okay, so like I was saying, very powerful cards. And the Romance Angels Oracle card is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Okay, so let's begin here with the overall energy for the next 2 weeks, or the last 2 weeks of the month. So the Judgment card, well, first of all, with the major arcanas, and like I said, you have 3 out of the 4 cards are major arcanas. These are significant messages. So this tells me that, there's definitely some type of divine guidance, divine intervention over the next couple of weeks with regards to your love and relationships, okay? The Judgment card, it's a card that speaks of endings and beginnings, right? Sort of overcoming the past, overcoming some, possibly some type of difficult period. And then since it's a major arcana, this is a significant period in your life, significant chapter in your life, right? But you're leaving that behind, you're overcoming that. You're sort of walking towards, you see how she has her eyes set on this beautiful light up in the corner, right? So you're on this path towards a light now. So, positive events are starting to appear, right? There's a sense of renewal. There's a sense of awakening. There's a sense of the worst is behind you, and you are heading towards the light here. So this is all about leaving behind the past, as long as it, whatever guilt or grievance or, you might have tied to that, whatever that relationship or, romantic interest or whatever this is in the past, it's leaving it behind and really beginning, starting with this fresh start, having a fresh start, following this new path. So that's what's guiding you over the next couple of weeks. And I can see here in the past position with this Nine of Wands, this is a card that speaks of, one last hurdle to sort of overcome, nearly at the end of completing a difficult, phase, because after the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, which is the completion of, a cycle. Completion, tens are endings or culminations in the tarot. But the Nine of Wands is kind of a defensive card, right? It's Wands energy, which has to do with usually the day-to-day activities in life. It has to do with our jobs, around the house, things we do around the house, our creativity, creative projects. But it's kind of a defensive card, because it's like, and you can see how the man here, he looks as if he's sort of hiding behind this, the scarecrow, and there are all these crows flying around him. So, he's stopping here. It looks as if he's almost resting, but at the same time, he's on the defensive, right? He's trying to figure out how to defend himself from, a possible attack. He's trying to, there might be some type of delay. Or so in the past, and this is in the past position. So this is you moving out of this defensive attitude. So maybe with regards to your previous relationships, maybe this was you, feeling a little bit on the defensive, or maybe, not wanting to embark upon a new relationship because you were, either afraid of getting hurt again, or kind of think, again, am I really going to go, start dating again, get back out onto the dating scene again. So it's this, it's this, oh no, should I or shouldn't I, taking this, it's a slight delay or taking some time out here, but still feeling a little, apprehensive, on the defensive, kind of not sure if you really want to do it or not, and then that brings us to this, sorry, before I move on, it also has to do, going back to the Nine of Wands here, sometimes this card, it can have to do with, proceeding, but with caution. So, if this, for some of you watching, this could be, maybe you did meet a new person, but you were a little bit apprehensive about, really starting up a new relationship with the person, or maybe you went out a couple of times with them, but, you're acting a little bit guarded, slightly cautious, not wanting to be caught off guard. So it could be either, for some of you, you could be on your own, or you've been on your own, not really wanting to get into a new relationship because, you're slightly apprehensive about what that might entail. Or for others, this could be you starting up a new relationship and feeling a little cautious here. Which brings us to the Tower in the middle. Now, I know a lot of people, they do kind of freak out when the Tower appears in a reading, but I honestly don't, because, to me, the Tower is it's just change, and yes, usually, most of the time, when the Tower appears, it's a kind of change that does come out of nowhere. Sometimes, I'm not going to say it's not, or that it can't be bad, because sometimes it is, sometimes, for example, and I'm not saying this is, for you right now, but for some people, this, when the Tower appears, this could be like finding out that, your significant other is having an affair or wants to leave you, and so when you first find out, it can be obviously devastating and, earth-shattering and life-changing, but at the same time, maybe the marriage wasn't that great to begin with, and so you maybe weren't that happy, but you weren't going to make the move. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it happens, but it's always out of nowhere. It's always sort of unexpected, but it's not always that negative, because it can bring about change, which can end up ultimately being positive. So with this appearing in the present position, usually it's some type of striking revelation. It can be you know it really is like it's a major arcana, so this sort of monumental change or monumental shift, right, in something that can really bring in new opportunities. It can bring in a completely new sort of way of life for you here. And with this, following this apprehension and not knowing if you should get into this new relationship, maybe for some of you watching, you have been single for a while, right? Maybe you have been on the defensive and not really knowing if you want to get into something new, right? Or really start up a new relationship, get back onto the dating scene. But this card comes in to really shake things up. So this might be a very unexpected event. This could be you meeting somebody completely out of the blue, unexpected, and and as it turns out, the person is very nice, and you strike up a conversation, and decide to give it a chance, and do actually go out with them. Whatever this happens to be, I mean, it could be really something that comes in to shake things up and pave the way really to for new opportunities to come in, which is what I see here with the card coming in next to it, which is the outbound energy for the month of February. As we move into March, you have the Fool, which is it's the beginning. It's a new beginning here, and the Fool is it's the 0 card in the major arcana. And the Fool is all about, taking risks, taking a chance, feeling very enthusiastic. It's sort of unlimited potential that comes in with when the Fool card appears, So it's, even if, you were feeling a little defensive with whatever this unexpected event situation that comes in, you are now, leaving the month, heading out into the next month, into March, feeling as if you are ready to take on the world here, right? You are ready to face whatever this unknown is. You're ready to, even though it might still be a little, it might be a little scary for you, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. You're feeling as though this is what you need to do, and it's the right thing, and it's a new beginning. It is taking that leap into the dark, and sometimes that's what's needed, Sometimes if we wait for the right time for us to actually be ready to begin a new relationship, that time might never come. We might never feel as though we're ready. But when something sort of comes out of the blue, and with this being a major arcana card, this is definitely something that is sort of divinely coming, it's divine intervention at play here. It's all about taking the opportunity and going with it, going with this new, whatever this new beginning is with, in your relationships or with your relationships. And with the very soon card, for the oracle cards, I like to read the full description for the card. And so this very soon card says, this card asks you, what do you want? And demands very clear and specific answers. Just like putting in your order at a restaurant, the universe has been listening to your thoughts and feelings about your love life and has brought you what you asked for. When you complain about what's served to you, it's only because you placed an unclear order. As soon as you're perfectly straightforward about what it is that you desire, it comes to you upon the wings of angels in an instant. You drew this card because it's time for you to get clear and honest with yourself. and formulate your requests with faith and optimism. Trust your feelings and make decisions for yourself about what's best for you. And it's saying very soon. So, I mean, if this is coming in, then, if this hasn't already happened, this tower, whatever this tower situation is here, this, lightning bolt coming in and really shaking things up and changing everything, maybe changing the way that you view getting into a new relationship. It is coming in, it is coming in very soon. And once again, this is divinely guided. And you have two cards that really speak of, setting off new beginnings and fresh starts. And, so interesting cards that you have here for the love and romance portion of the reading. Let's shift gears here and let me move these over so you can see them a little bit better. So for the career and finance part of your reading, we start off with, in the past position, the Six of Fire. Okay, so that would be the Six of Wands in the past. The energies we come into these last 2 weeks of February. In the present position, we have the Messenger of Water. This would be the Knight of Cups in the traditional deck. And in the future position, we have the Ace of Earth, or Ace of Pentacles. And the overall energy for the next 2 weeks, we have number 5 of the Major Arcana, the Hierophant. And the Oracle card for your career and finance reading, you have school. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school. All right, so starting off here with our overall energy. So another Major Arcana card, right, as the overall energy, but then the 3 cards in the main reading are all Minor Arcana cards. But the Hierophant is, it's a very powerful card, right? Obviously, it's a Major Arcana card. And it speaks of, well, many different things. One of the main things is that it speaks of, large institutions, such as dealing with the government, dealing with the courts, dealing with even like, universities, so large educational systems such as universities or schools. The Hierophant also has to do with spiritual practice, right? And sort of going within, finding that, that balance between the material plane, the spiritual plane, seeking out the higher knowledge that comes from being more in tune with, with spirit, with the higher power of the universe. So, sometimes when the Hierophant card comes in, it's asking, or it's sort of encouraging you to maybe take some extra time out to focus on your spiritual side. So this could be, many different ways, whatever whatever works for you. This could be just simply sitting in peace, sitting quietly for 5 minutes and every day, and just, kind of getting in touch with the universe. Or this could be, actual meditation if you're, into meditation, whatever is your, or works as a spiritual practice for you. Sometimes this card does sort of show or symbolize the need for, for that to sort of work on your, this connection and work on your spiritual side. It's also a card that speaks of, tradition and order and rules, which is why, many times it does, it's tied with, the large religious institutions. It's tied in with, like I was saying, that, the court systems, the governments. So, with this is, over the next couple of weeks, you might be dealing with large institutions. You might be dealing with the government. For those of us here in the U.S., it's coming up to tax season. So you might be dealing with the government, filing your taxes, that type of thing. For some of you, you might be dealing with like the courts, something to do with the courts. Or again, it could have to do with, school or an educational institution as well. But whatever it is, it's something that, there's a great sense of conformity and, very traditional. It's a very traditional energy. So, there might be something in your career or, work or even finance sectors that you might need to take a more traditional approach with whatever it is that you have coming up over the next couple of weeks. But let's see how this card ties in with the rest of the reading here. So starting off with the Six of Fire, this is the Six of Wands, which is, it's in the past position here. So the energy as we move into the last couple of weeks. And it's a card of victory, right? The Six of Wands is usually a card that we think of as receiving accolades. This could be in the form of a promotion. The suit of fire itself deals, or wands, fire. It's the suit that deals with like our careers, the day-to-day activities that we perform sort of around the house. It has to do with creative projects, our own creativity and our drive and ambition to do the work that we do as well. And the six, like I said, it's a card that really speaks of recognition. So this could be, as it's in the past position, that might have been, for some of you watching, you might have received either an increase, maybe an increase in pay at work, or some type of recognition for a job well done. Maybe you were working, on a specific project and everything went well. So this was, you sort of receiving the accolades for a job well done here. But whatever it is, it really has to do with feeling and being very triumphant. So whatever, was going on as you moved into this last couple of weeks, you're coming in very strong, right? Coming in very, triumphant here. In the middle position, this Messenger of Water, so this would be like I said, the Knight of Cups, so Knight of Water. And the Knights in the Tarot, they're the ones who act on things, right? The pages are the messengers and bring in news. And then, even though in this particular deck, it's called the Messenger, this would actually be the Knight. And so this is the person who acts on it, right? And takes action on whatever the news is. And with the Suit of Water or Suit of Cups, this has to do with our emotions. It has to do with our feelings, also relationships, intuition. But with this Knight of Cups, usually, in a love reading, the Knight of Cups comes into, sort of that Prince Charming, it's the knight in shining armor, comes in to offer you, or to bring in this offering of love, kind of sweep you off your feet, right? As we're looking more at career and finance here, this could just be what could be a water sign individual, right? We know when the court cards appear like this in a reading, they can be actual people that we're dealing with during this time period. So if so, this would typically be a more middle-aged water sign individual, so Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, male or female. And if it is, this person is usually very, or quite romantic, kind of a dreamer, very passionate about what he or she is doing, a little bit temperamental, a little bit overly sensitive, right? Or this could be you taking on the energy of this Knight of Water, or the Knights can oftentimes be events, situations that we're dealing with, right? So with the, if it is just a situation or event, then this could possibly be news of something that comes in that, that makes you quite happy, right? That you're quite happy with whatever this news, and this is in the present, right? And so you have victory here, and then this news coming in of something that brings you, a great deal of happiness, right? There's also a sense of sort of a heightened emotional awareness as well with this card when it shows up. Also admiration, right? A lot of times it speaks of, admiration, possibly, you admiring people or others admiring you. So this could be you, in quite a prominent position, after, or in the present. And what's coming in is this Ace of Earth, which is a new, again, something new. It's a new offering here, but this is a very tangible offering, right? The suit of Earth, it has to do with things here in the material realm. So, it's kind of the material where we see the results of our intentions, of whatever our hopes and dreams are, that we've actually manifested and brought into reality here in the physical plane. So, the suit of Earth, it has to do with material wealth. It has to do with the work that we do, the tangible results from the work that we do. So the money that we earn, the material possessions that we are able to accrue with the money that we earn, has to do with our homes, has to do with our families, also education. So, aces are, well, one, they're new beginnings in the tarot, but also aces are, it's divinely blessed. It's this divine offering, right? So when the ace appears in a reading, or when aces show up, in the tarot, it really is the divine hand of the universe sort of extending out and saying, here, this is a gift. You need to take this. This is for you. You deserve it, right? You've been working very hard. And it's really just prosperity kind of in its purest form, so you're really, there are tangible, concrete results coming in with this card. So, it just looks like, to me, it looks like you are very much in control. You've been working hard. You've been seeing some good results. Possibly you've received some type of, award or recognition, promotion from this work well done. There might be this messenger of water. This, it could be somebody, at your work. It could possibly be a water sign individual at your work. But, whatever this is, you're leaving the month with this new offering, right? This very tangible offering of abundance and of plenty. Everything that you have sort of wanted, it's appearing right now for you, right? So it's this real essence of tangible prosperity here in the material realm. And, again, this connection here with the Hierophant, and this sort of need to connect with the universe, with spirit, through meditation, through some type of spiritual practice, in order to manifest in the material realm. So there's something connecting here. The Hierophant, obviously, is the sort of the overall energy for the next couple of weeks. So this is definitely guiding it, but it's very strong, very powerful, something very tangible and sort of blessed coming in towards the end of February as we move into the month of March. And the card that we have from the Life Purpose deck, and I'll read you the full meaning for this card. And so it's School. And what this card says is, let me find it. It says, this card guides you to return to school to further your education and gain new skills related to your dream career. The angels assure you that the timing is ideal for you to take this leap and that it's part of your divine life mission. You'll also find joy in learning about your beloved profession. And you deserve this happiness. It's part of your loving self-care. Your educational path will inspire others to follow their own intuitive paths as well. For a few, this card also signals that your soul longs to teach in a classroom setting. Helping young people develop their minds and acquire skills is a vital profession, one that the angels are happy to support. Ask them for guidance about your teaching pathway, and they will guide every aspect of it. From their higher perspective, the angels know which avenue is best suited to you and your talents. They'll guide you in the ideal teaching situation. So that's interesting. I mean, obviously, this card is not, the message of the School card is not going to resonate with everybody, but for some of you watching, there might be, you might be actually considering. And I was saying with the Hierophant, I mean, this can have to do with large institutions and such as universities, right? Going back to school. That definitely it ties in with this Hierophant card. So for some of you, this might be you actually considering going back to school, where you will gain not only knowledge, but also a better understanding of where what this dream job is, or what it is that you're going after. And so yeah, I think that this definitely it ties in with the message of the Ace of Earth, and sort of manifesting and the needing to be more in tune with your higher self, and also with the higher institution here of learning, and this message of school coming in. So interesting. I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I thank you once again for joining me here. I look forward to reading for you again. And just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful rest of the month. Bye for now.